Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Square and Twitter, has some big, enormous, huge plans for Bitcoin, and they're all coming out one after another. There was a lot that he said recently, so let's talk about what Jack plans on building for Bitcoin, and are they a big deal? And also, we have some fantastic movers, man. Last night to today, obviously, we had a pretty good run up. Bitcoin recovered a little bit, but altcoins are still on fire. So let's take a look at what's going on with some of these hot altcoins. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day. 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But today I'm early. I may be early on the weekends from now on. I just want to see how it is. But regardless, if I'm early or later on time, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified. And also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram to get notified and get exclusive content. And check out all the latest news, articles, and guides on CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Saturday morning for those of us in the U.S. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend so far. Let's just start out with this. I saw this tweeted, and this could not be a better reflection of Bitcoin's price right now. I've said this in the past. Bitcoin and all other crypto right now, the price that we see on these indexes is just really a small reflection of what's actually out there being held. And this picture paints it perfectly. Out of the 19 million circulating supply out there, only about 2.5 million is on the exchanges, and whatever they're trading for, this is how we determine Bitcoin's price, which is right around 49,000. But vast majority of it, 85% to be exact, last time I saw a metric on this, 85% is being held by long-term holders and people that have just basically not moved their Bitcoin ever. Could be Satoshi, could be people that passed away, whatever the case. 85% is liquid. So it's really silly to just base everything off of what's on exchanges, because it's such a small little amount. But that's how it is. How else do you go evaluate something, right? But we know Bitcoin holders continue to buy and hold more and more. And this little peak up here, not due to global warming, but due to buyers, is getting smaller and smaller each and every day. Eventually, there's going to be nothing above, and that's when Bitcoin will be $1 million plus, right? And we're getting there slowly but surely. And this is not just with Bitcoin, with Ethereum and many other altcoins out there as well. So looking at Bitcoin, we're at 48.7. So obviously, after options and futures expiration, Bitcoin did come up pretty significantly. We were closing in at that 49.5, which I mentioned before was a resistance. So we were not able to break that. We're taking a breather, but you know what? I think today, the rest of today, tomorrow, we're going to see some big movement. That's just how I feel. And looking at the patterns from previous weeks, I do think that Bitcoin is gearing up for something, a big push upwards, possibly like this, and keep going. So definitely an exciting time. But while Bitcoin is determining or getting ready for that next move, we know that altcoins just continue to go up and up and up. And something like Solana just never stops. Never, ever stops. It keeps going, formed another high. It's nearing $100. $100. It's at 93. It was almost at 95 yesterday. And well, can it continue? Yes. So Terra Luna also went up, continues to go up 18% for this week. And there's just a lot of buying, a lot of enthusiasm, and there's just a lot of great projects out there that continues to build and execute. And there's a lot more usage these days than ever before. So things are moving in the right direction, that is for sure. But let's get to the main topic, What's going on with Jack Dorsey? Well, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. We know that Square, or at least Jack, determined that he is going to make a hardware wallet for Bitcoin. Jack, he's kind of an enigma because he's trying to play the role of Bitcoin maxi. But the good thing is he's not trying to bash altcoins, but we know that NFTs and other things that Twitter have sold, they're on Ethereum. Why go 100% in Bitcoin only? I don't know. He's taking the Bitcoin maxi route, which is fine as long as he doesn't bash any other altcoins. That's fine. But, Jack have said himself, if he wasn't the CEO of Square and Twitter, he would definitely be leading the Bitcoin charge in some capacity. He believes in Bitcoin this much. He believes that Bitcoin will be the digital currency of the internet, and he wants to do what he can to help grow it. So first step is to make this Bitcoin hardware wallet, which he says that Square is already building, and it just makes sense. Square is a financial payments company, and to integrate a Bitcoin wallet makes a lot of sense. But why not just make a crypto wallet? But I don't know, because he wants to be a Bitcoin maxi. And so what else is there? Well, now he announced that he is going to build a decentralized exchange for Bitcoin. He's going to build a DEX for Bitcoin. Interesting. We have a lot of DEXs out there, but none are built really for Bitcoin. They're all mainly ERC20 tokens or TRC20 tokens or BEP20 tokens. I mean, they're built for all these other chains, not really for Bitcoin. But you know what, Jack? That's the next thing he wants to do, is build a DEX specifically for Bitcoin. But there's not a whole lot of dApps, right? It's not like a token standard for dApps that exists right now for Bitcoin, right? So I don't know. I guess it's just the DEX. The sole purpose is just for Bitcoin, but that may change. You know why? What else is he working on? Well, according to all these tweets, he's focusing on a new financial services. The name is to be determined, but he's going to use all of his companies, Cash App, Tidal, Seller, and Square. They're going to build a new DeFi project on top of Bitcoin. So you could see a lot of announcements, one after another. So of course he's going to build a DeFi project, okay? And some do exist already. Not that they don't exist, but some, they're relatively small. But he's going to build a DeFi project, and he's going to build a DEX that I guess you could trade, with, and he's going to build a wallet that supports all of these things. You could see big announcements everywhere. And before, he even said that all Twitter accounts should be linked to a Lightning wallet as well. So he's involving Twitter in there. So think about this. If he builds a Bitcoin wallet, right, your address could just be your Twitter handle. So it's a human readable address, like what Unstoppable Domains is doing and what others doing. So think about that. You build a hardware wallet that uses your Twitter handle, right? And it has DeFi built in, right? Kind of like some of these other apps that we have. And it has a DEX integrated too. You can see the bigger picture, right? He's trying to do everything inside this hardware wallet, and it's all powered by Square. Interesting stuff. He's definitely leading the charge in terms of development right now. Not to say that the Bitcoin developers are not, but I'm thinking like MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor. They're leading the charge in terms of showing companies that it's safe to buy Bitcoin and it's smart to buy Bitcoin and put in your balance sheet. Jack is trying to show it with Square, saying that, yeah, it's a good idea to build financial services and make Bitcoin a piece of that. If not only a piece of that, the biggest piece of that, right? So he's kind of doing what Michael Saylor is doing in a technical development kind of way. So very interesting indeed. What else is there? Well, This was yesterday. This was announced yesterday. I don't know if this had anything to do with Bitcoin or crypto going up. Maybe. But Jerome Powell yesterday gave another speech saying that, the tightening of whatever rates or tampering, whatever that people were fearful that he was going to announce that he was going to raise rates or stop the bonds buying or whatever, or the tapering. Now, he's not going to do any of that. He's like, we'll revisit that down the road. So for now, basically, rates stay near zero, and they're going to continue to buy hundreds of billions of bonds per month, right? And the endless money is still being printed and given out. So overall, this was positive. This is what people consider positive because there's just so much money flowing out there. So this talk about a crash, impending correction, a doomsday kind of a black swan event, it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen because there's just so much money out there. Why would it happen, right? So I don't know. That's one of the things that I've been debating with myself for a long time, and not just me. Everyone that's somewhat invested into stocks or real estate or crypto, everyone is talking about the same thing. Is this correction going to come, right? And some people predict, with this endless printing, there's going to be repercussions. But then others say, well, if there's endless printing, there's no repercussions because there's going to be more printing to make up for the debt that was already incurred, right? So I don't know. The best thing I think to do is continue our path and just have cash on the side in case that correction comes. If it does, then great. Then you could buy in. If it doesn't come, well, you're already well invested anyway, so you're doing just fine. All right, what else is there going forward with Twitter and social media's history of censorship? I don't trust any of them holding the keys to finance one bit. That's a valid argument, but you know what? They're still trying to build within the Bitcoin. They're trying to build out Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin will not belong to any one entity or one company, but I rather see the effort and money being poured in to build up Bitcoin than not. So, you could have the argument and say, okay, censorship, this and that. Well, I still like Jack to put his money and efforts into building Bitcoin up because that's still overall a good thing for everyone that's involved rather than him not. So that's the best way to look at it, in my opinion. All right, what else is there? A lot of people getting into NFTs. You may have noticed a Steph Curry picture on the thumbnail. Well, guess what? He's getting into NFTs just like everyone else. He bought this. You can see his profile picture, this degenerative ape. He bought it for 55 ETH. 55 ETH, and he put it as his profile picture because technically he owns it. What does that come out to be? That's almost $200,000. We know Visa just bought a CryptoPunk for about 165, so now Steph Curry bought one for about $180,000. So NFT craze is still ongoing, but of course Steph, who makes like $40 or $50 million, not counting his endorsements, I think he could afford it. But look at this. EA Sports hiring a new senior director to explore blockchain and NFTs. Of course, if I was a game developer, I would be getting into NFTs right now, right this second, right? You got to take advantage of the popularity, and plus, it just makes a whole lot of sense. People that are playing games, they may want to own, certain aspects of that game. For example, the character that they're playing with, or they want to own like a tournament after winning it, a piece of history, or simply just, market the hell out of the players or the games utilizing NFTs. And there's so much more. That's just the beginning. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but there's so much more that you could do with NFTs, and you could incorporate them in a big way. But of course, I guess it's easier said than done. So now EA is taking it serious, so they're go get in pretty soon. All right, lastly, I saw this headline. This is not new. This actually came out a few days ago, but it kind of makes me sick for a couple reasons. Number one is there was this man that, I guess you could say it's his fault, but he got tricked that this malware was posted on Reddit, and the kids that posted it pretended like it was a Bitcoin wallet, but it wasn't. It was a malware. So this guy, he downloaded it, installed it, and next time he tried to send out his Bitcoin, that malware would change the address. A lot of you guys on your computer, you do copy and paste, right? If you want to send your Bitcoin or crypto somewhere else, between exchanges, between wallets, you tend to copy and paste. So what this malware did was basically insert its own address. So this man, after trying to send 16 Bitcoins, is sent to the wallet of the hackers, which at the time was just underage kids. Now, over the years, the man decided to hunt them down. And those kids weren't very good at hiding their tracks, I should say. So he hunted them down. And he found the parents, and he told the parents, hey, your kids robbed me of 16 Bitcoins, which is substantial, like almost $1 million, right? He told his parents, hey, do the right thing. I don't want to get the authorities involved. Tell your kids to send it back to me. The parents ignored it for 2 years. So now the man is actually suing them, and the parents is still taking a stance. Oh, this happened when they were minors, so you can't go after us or whatever. But this makes me sick for a couple reasons. Number one, the man lost his 16 Bitcoin. So a lot of you guys knew. I get emails even now like, hey, I saw this place like Amazon token, and I want to send my tokens to it because I want to buy some Amazon tokens. Well, you're going to get scammed because there is no Amazon tokens. And just like people that still get scammed on those scam streams on YouTube where you're watching Michael Saylor or someone talk, and then there's an address you send your Bitcoins to and they'll double it. People still get scammed for that. So that makes me sick that this guy lost 16 Bitcoins. But the other thing is that the parents of these kids, they already know what happened. They know their kids stole almost $1 million, and now they're not doing the right thing, and they're just pretending like they're trying to make this go away, like this never occurred. That also makes me sick. That's just bad parents. Bad parents lead to bad kids. And that if my kids, which are still small, if I ever discovered they did something like this, I would do everything in my power to make sure that they make it right and they return whatever they did. So I don't know. That just got me. It made me sick a little bit. All right. With that said, before Q&A, I do have a new sponsor today. And it's a project coming out of an existing project that some of you guys may have heard of before. Excuse me. Student Coin. Student Coin was very popular earlier this year because they are a crypto built for universities and students, basically kind of like copying Facebook in a way. And it's all about creation of NFTs and tokens and concentrating on DeFi. But they decided to come out with another project called Smart Marketing Token. And this was actually in their roadmap. And what Smart Marketing Token is, they're trying to basically raise funds to create a marketing agency that is all about promotion of crypto projects and, of course, their own project, Student Coin. So, I mean, that's what it is. They're trying to create a decentralized marketing company that is more fair. For example, a fixed fee promotion, so it's not variable, and you don't have to deal with marketing people that try to play games. You can vote on decisions. And there's also other things because this is a crypto. You can stake, and there's transparency because it's built on the blockchain. And of course, there's going to be a lot of services, and they want to involve educational services as well within here. And then here's their complete roadmap. Right now, it's very early. They're doing a lot of things right now, but development is still ongoing. So this platform is not going to be done until 2022, according to them, January of 2022. And they do already have a few partners already. If you take a look at this, the team is the same team basically as Student Coin, but they do have a few partners ready. For example, CoinCodex and CoinZilla and several other crypto. So if you're interested, check them out. Of course, check out Student Coin, but check out Smart Marketing Token. who is still running. They're in their launchpad phase right now. URLs are in the description of this video. All right, guys, that is it. Let's do some Q&A. All right, what did I miss? What did I miss? William asked about Rally. I am somewhat partnered up with Rally. When I discovered them, I thought they were very interesting. They're all about creating tokens for influencers. So I actually have a George coin on Rally. They've been working with influencers coming out with their own fan-based tokens, right? And they're getting involved with NFTs soon. But they kind of been under the radar, even after they got added on Coinbase, which is very, very interesting. Well, I don't know why there's another token called Rally. But yeah, they didn't really pump up after the Coinbase edition. It was kind of like snuck in. But the founder of Rally is one very smart guy. He actually exited out a few companies, one that I believe attracted $1 billion. So very smart guy. They're in the right space, but they haven't attracted enough attention to them yet. So maybe they will in the future. I don't know. But hopefully they will. Someone mentioned about BlockFi. Yeah, I didn't bring it up, but BlockFi is finally raising their rates again. Starting September 1st, I don't have the PR, but you know, BlockFi, you know, they caught some slack because of the regulatory issues that they're still working on, but the rates were dropped. Now they're dropping back up, so more comparable to other projects. So that's pretty good for BlockFi. Someone says BTC is crashing again. Chris, you go get a timeout for making a stupid comment like that. What else is there? IOTX to $1. I'm not familiar with IOTX. Not that familiar. Can they go to $1? Maybe. Maybe. They were certainly pumped up before, but not likely. No. I think right now what a lot of people newcomers are doing, and they always do this, and I get it, because newcomers coming into the space will look at a project like Cardano and say, well, it's already $3 and $90 billion. It can't possibly go up that much. Or they look at something like Luna or Solana or, you know, even VeChain or Theta, and they go down the list and they're like, well, these guys are so big. You know, I'm getting in late. I don't have a lot of money, so there's no way I can make money. So I have to go look at something that is like 10 million or 20 million market cap, right? That is the wrong idea. That's the wrong idea, because you're going to be buying in a lot of projects that will sit at that point and never move. While these bigger, more established projects with traction will continue to keep going up and up and up, and you're making substantial gains by holding on to them, right? So do not always try to get into a small cap that because you feel like you're trying to play catch up. You can still make plenty of money with big caps. Proven point, look at it. Look at this. 200% with Luna within the last 30 days. Right? And then look at Solana, 218%. These are big caps that are doubling, tripling in price within 30 days. So don't think just because it's a big cap that you can't make some serious money with it. So there you go. What else is there? Constellation. I've discussed Constellation recently. I think they're on the right path. With the contract, the Department of Defense and U.S. Air Force, that's pretty big. Pretty big. So I do think they're going to do well. XVG, Verge, no. Yeah, this is an old project that was pumped up by the late McAfee, and I did not like some of the shenanigans they were doing. They they begged, their fans to give them $2 million because they were bankrupt and they needed to get added on Pornhub, and that partnership did nothing. They did a lot of suspicious things. I do not like them at all. Thoughts on Cardano's smart contract? I've been talking a lot about it. I think it is going to be very good for them. Yep, Greg, you're gone from this channel for being an idiot. One thing I can't stand is idiots. You could be naive. You could be new, but I can't stand idiots. Have you heard of TradeLens, Mars IBM partnership logistics similar to VeChain? Does a coin exist? No, I've never heard of that project. The Big, thank you. Portfolio has grown to 65% ADA versus 35% ETH. Would you readjust to 50-50 ETH ADA mix? I don't know. I think that's up to you. Right now, I would keep it like that. For me, I would keep it like that. My ADA versus my ETH is similar, but ADA is now bigger and Solana is now bigger just because they've been growing more, right? I think Cardano is going to have a big move after Goguen. So if it was me, I would just leave it. Don't try to second guess yourself. Last minute, thank you. Guitar player, I don't know if that was a good move or not. MomoFi, thank you. Thoughts on Luxo? I trust Fabian. I like to trust him, but the chain is not done yet. So until it's done, then we'll see how good it is, right? They kind of got pumped up a lot, not because they're chain, more of their new standard for NFTs, which he's talked about, but ultimately he needs to get that chain done so we could see. Crypto Island. Yeah, that sounds like a horrible idea. That's a pure scam idea if I ever heard one. Dope Creations, thank you. Juan, thank you. Do you still like nulls? I'm thinking of averaging down. Nulls, I still like their technology. I still like them executing, but they have no traction. Very little. If they get it, it's going to be fantastic. People will realize how good they are, but right now they have no traction. What are your thoughts on high gas fees when sending ERC20 tokens from exchanges to wallets, vice versa? Of course, I don't like high gas fees. I mean, how else can you answer? I like high gas fees. I mean, that's why there are other projects. That's why there's other chains that's doing very well, why DeFi and NFTs exist on other chains. That's the reason why, because people don't want to pay high gas fees. Does Sol have token economics to get to the value of ETH? That's a good question. I think I studied it before, but I haven't looked at it. If you look at this, it's about half, right? About half, it's a little bit more than half out. I have to study Solana in terms of if they do any kind of token burning and if they have a set max supply. Because Solana may be something like similar to Ethereum where it's not a set supply and it will inflate for the stakers. But recently I've noticed some other projects that do have a set supply that have a ton of token burning and they have been doing very well. And it just makes sense because when there's a lot of token burning, it deflates it, right? For example, I know Terra for sure has a set supply and keeps burning. And something that also has been very hot recently is Avalanche, which also has a set supply. And there is a ton of burning too. So they definitely do have effect. I have to study Solana more. What do you think about the new DEX NFT game of Harmony? I have no idea. Never heard of them. Cody, I think Cody is pretty good. They already ran up because of the Coinbase edition. And they're partnered up with with Cardano already. What else is there? I bought bet at 13 cents. Should I take profits? Well, it depends. Do you feel like you should take profits? It's only at 12 cents, so I don't get it. You mean 0.013? Because technically, if you bought at 13 cents, you'll be down. So I don't know. What else is there? No, I won't be checking out that project. Noah, appreciate it. Someone is so stupid. Trying to pretend to be my admin and giving a super chat. Well, thanks for $5, but you're going to be banned anyways. So stupid. Probably someone on the Ultra team, which is really bad if that's the case. Veracity. Veracity has been doing very well. They've been getting a lot of traction, a lot of attention. I was always neutral on the project, but they can continue to get the traction, right? Get themselves more into esports and gaming and tournaments and stuff like that. They'll continue to do well. What do you think about PokeSwap? I looked at it before. I mean, it wasn't very different from some of the other swap plays. The problem with Polkadot's ecosystem is all these projects just put a name Polka in front of it. And it makes people feel like, oh, it must be good because it has Polka in front of it. And that's not really the case. That's not really the case at all. So there's a lot of Polkadot projects. You know, you have to wait to see if they're going to become parachains. Kusama's having that parachain auction right now. When it's done, it'll come to Polkadot, and then we'll see. All right, guys. There's last few questions. There's a high percentage of stake ADA send price to the moon. Of course, it's taking it out of circulation. That means there's a lot more that is just being held. It's not being traded. It's not on exchanges. That's what you want. That's what's happening with Bitcoin too. Just like this, right? You have just small, very small portion of the overall supply that's actually being traded, but that's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as more and more people buy and hodl. And when they do, this bottom portion just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the top gets smaller. It's kind of the same premise with Cardano, with how much is being staked. So yeah. Is it safe to jump back into Bondly after exit scan? I don't know. The project was never that big to begin with. So there's a lot of NFT projects out there. So you may, if you really want to get into it, sure. But be careful. Be careful. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for tuning in. You know what? Bitcoin coming back up, crawling back up, trying to break that 49.5. Can I do it today and tomorrow? Maybe. I think so. Actually, not just maybe. I do think so. I think we're gearing up for that big move. But in the meantime, enjoy the altcoin gains, man. Some of them are just so hot, continue to go up, and they will continue to go up further. And it's very exciting. Very exciting indeed. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.